Hello, Aces. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about the Murdaugh Murders, which is the title on the Netflix special featuring a Southern scandal, the Murdaugh family. Here we have Alex Murdaugh, who is currently on trial for the murder of his son Paul and his wife Maggie. So let's get into mind blowing, and it has all kind of crazy twists and turns that I have been following for like the past few days. It's crazy. So anyway, his family, the Murdaugh family, they are a multi-generational old money family, and they are pretty much the law around the town of Hampton County, South Carolina. So all these multi-generational men have been solicitors, is what they call the district attorneys down there in South Carolina. And it started with his great-great-grandfather, Rudolph, and then it was Randall Murdaugh, and then Richard Murdaugh. So all these generational Murdaugh men have gone to law school. They became district attorneys. They were the prosecutors of the town. And not only the prosecutors in the criminal cases, but also in the civil courts. So they were, in cahoots, like a lot of Southern towns are, small towns where everyone knows everyone. And they have a reputation around town of being pretty much above the law, right? Like they were the law. And the Murdaugh name came with a lot of money, a lot of prestige, and a lot of power, okay? So we're going to focus on Alex and his family, which includes his wife, Maggie, there in the fur coat, and then his older son, the oldest son, Richard, quote unquote, Buster, which is his nickname, Murdaugh. And then we have in the middle, Paul, the youngest son, Paul Terry Murdaugh, okay? So just to give you a quick synopsis of their family dynamic from what was portrayed in the Netflix special, their family wasn't necessarily as close as the children would have liked it to be, or, other people from the outside looking in commentated. Buster, the one with the red hair on the far left, he was the oldest child. He was considered to be the favorite. He, went to the University of South Carolina. Unfortunately, he did get expelled for plagiarism, but, he comes from old money, and I'm sure that he's going to be fine. He'll probably land on his feet at, his family's law firm, or who knows. But he is at the trial presently, in support of his father while his father is on trial. So then we have Maggie and we have Paul, and they were known to be, Paul was known to be as a partier. They had the reputation around town that they could, they would allow their kids to drink and allow their friends' kids to drink underage. And since they were the attorneys and the prosecutors of the town, nobody was going to really challenge that. So here we have Anthony Cook and Mallory Beach. So the Netflix special opens with the story about Paul and, his friends. We have Mallory here. They're all, going out partying on a boat. And here we have Paul with his girlfriend, Morgan. And so things get out of hand. Paul gets really, really intoxicated. He's crashes the boat. And unfortunately, they can't find Mallory Beach. So 7 days, Mallory's boyfriend, Anthony, is going down to the water. They have the search teams, the dive teams, and after 7 days, they find her body, and she didn't make it. So then Paul gets, he gets arraigned for her death, and it wasn't a murder charge. I remember it was Okay, so I just looked it up, and it says that Paul was charged with 3 felony counts on April 18th, 2019. His charges included boating under the influence, including causing the death of Mallory Beach and seriously injuring 2 other passengers. So I'm surprised that, well, no, I shouldn't say I'm surprised because I'm not, but those were the charges. And from what I understand, they conveyed in the Netflix special, he didn't even get handcuffed, right? So they took his mugshot in that polo that he's wearing, that plaid shirt, and, they wouldn't handcuff him. He, had his grandfather there. And like I said, the family has a lot of power in that town. So he didn't even spend any time in jail. And a lot of people thought that that was really unfair. So there's his girlfriend, Morgan. And she was just telling us, when Paul would drink, he was an angry drunk. He was very abusive, both physically and verbally. And she goes into detail in the Netflix special, but it was really unfortunate that she dated him for 4 years. And she really suffered a lot of abuse at his hands. And everyone pretty much turned a blind eye to it because, his family was so wealthy and powerful. And here we have their housekeeper, Gloria. And Gloria had been working for that family for over 20 years, okay? She not only took care of, the 2 kids, Paul and Buster, but also, took care of Alex when he was young as well, and the entire Murdaugh family. So one day, I'm not sure exactly what happened with the details because they didn't tell us if there was an argument. There has been speculations that, she found some of Alex's drugs or she got into an argument with, Maggie or Buster because she was really close with Paul. So they don't think that Paul did it. But somehow they blamed it on the dogs the dogs knocked her down the steps and, that ended her life and it killed her. And it's really sad because this family has a lot of dead bodies attached to their family legacy. Just 5 that we know of. But again, in the South, and I have a lot of family from the South, there's a lot of stories and not even like folklore, but they were saying that the older Buster, Richard, allegedly, he would quote unquote make people disappear. And so that was something that had followed their family around town. So Gloria ended up passing away. She had 2 sons, and her story made me really sad because Alex stole her settlement money. So Alex told her 2 boys, her 2 living descendants, that, he was basically going to take care of them, have, his law firm settle, and they got over $4 million in the settlement, and they didn't see 1 penny, not 1 red cent of that millions of dollars from her death. He stole it all. Here we have Stephen Smith. Now, Stephen Smith was a very eclectic young man. He went to school with Buster and Paul and the rest of the crew. Like I said, it's a very small town. But he was, he was out, he was gay, he was proud about that. And there were rumors, allegedly, that he was in a secret relationship with Buster, which is Alex and Maggie's older child, Buster Murdaugh. And he was found dead in the middle of the road. And when the police and the investigators came, again, all the townspeople, they said they had around 19 or 20 people saying that Buster Murdaugh and his friends killed Stephen Smith. So, which is so tragic, so sad because he's so young, so much life ahead of him. But his life was tragically cut short. And I don't know if it was Buster or not. I'm just saying that in the Netflix special, allegedly, the townspeople, around 20 of them, said that it was Buster Murdaugh. Buster, like his name kept coming up. So I don't know. I hope that the cops find out exactly what happened in the death of Stephen Smith, as well as here we have last but not least, Maggie and Paul. So this is what Alex is on trial for right now. So people have, again, they're trying to find out exactly what happened. We know that Paul was shot multiple times with a shotgun, and then Maggie was shot, and they said it seems like ballistics thinks that she was running away, but it was an AR-15. And if you guys know anything about assault rifles, they completely decimate the body. So they, the Netflix special, they don't want to speculate. One, I'm sure they don't want to get sued, and they, this is a very powerful family, but Alex is on murder for their deaths because he did have an opioid addiction. He actually took the trial just this past week. He took the stand, giving his own witness testimony. And it was extremely interesting because I would see him sometimes when they would ask him questions. He did say he did lie about stealing the money and about, his opioid addiction. But when they would ask him, did you shoot your wife or did you shoot your son? You could see him saying no, but nodding yes. Okay. Like that body language was conflicting. So anyway, I will keep you guys posted with his sentencing and, because he was denied bail by the judge. So the trial is still ongoing, but I wanted to catch you guys up on the Netflix special. Drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you later. Take care, Aces. Bye.